Welcome back to Three Lines TCG, everyone. Today is New Year's Eve, and I thought, what better way to end the year than doing a 2024 collection review. Now, in the intro here, I'm just going to show a little bit of a highlight reel of the last video I did that was related to this. That was back in July, so this year's going to be slightly different. Basically, what I'm going to be showing you today is just a highlight or a collection review over the cards that I've gotten since July. Future years, that won't be the case, right? So, like, next year, I'm not going to do anything related to the collection until the very end of the year, and then we'll go over the full year's worth of things that we pulled, or things that we, got at local card shops, or even at the card shows, things like that. That's generally how I like to collect. I don't like to just go on eBay and buy. I kind of like to see it in person, support a local business, or, like I say, pull it. So I'll do all of that, pretty much a full year's worth next year. But for now, I just wanted to kind of make this a new tradition on the channel. Basically a reminder, for what this is all about in terms of we as collectors, why we collect, and the enjoyment of doing it. That's the whole purpose of me making this channel, and I preach this all the time, but there's no right or wrong way in how you collect, and I think my collection is a prime example of that. To some people, my collection's all over the place, but to others, they can kind of understand, because they might collect a slightly different way than somebody else. But I say it all the time, but don't let somebody, convince you that you shouldn't collect the way you collect just because they don't think it's cool. If you think it's cool, then do it. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And so that's kind of what I want to continue to remind people every year. And doing, I think the best way to do that is to do a sort of collection review and show you sort of how hype I am by some of the additions that we got this year, and obviously for future years. So I want to make that a tradition on the channel. Like I say, do a collection review every year towards the end of the year. We may do like top 10 pulls and things like that, depending on how much we open in the next year. To be honest, I've really only been doing this for 6 months. I obviously have videos from a year or two ago, but I wasn't really posting too regularly. There was like a 6-month hiatus last year that I didn't even post anything. So I'm kind of getting a bit serious now about this whole YouTube thing and, making a channel. So I want to start, like I say, making series and setting up for a new year. And I think next year I'm going to be opening probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4 times the amount that I opened this year, and making videos on it. Fingers crossed, that's the hope, of course. And so with that, hopefully there should come, more openings, more pull chances, and more things to add to the collection, which is what we're all about. So, I'm hoping that that's the plan. Well, that's the plan, at least as of right now, moving into the next year. And like I say, today we're just going to go over the stuff that I've gotten since this July video, and I will leave a little pop-up on the screen now so that you can go to that and watch it if you haven't. But today we've just got 8 binders, pretty much. I think about 8 or 9 binders that have changed, so let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to start with some of the binders that didn't change too much, just like a couple cards here and there. Either to a set or maybe just a couple pages changed within the binder. So I'm going to show that off first, and then we'll sort of save the best till last. I've got some I think 3 of the binders have got pretty major updates to them. There is still there's one brand new binder too. It's going to be one piece. And there's one binder that I won't show today. I'm going to call it the Forbidden Binder. And then there's one card I won't show today either. But let's start with Neo Discovery. We had one new addition for this binder. I think we got it at the card show in October. And of course it was the Japanese Kabutops, a beautiful looking card. And it's in pretty good condition too, so was happy about that. This is like my my favorite artwork sort of binder that I had. We just kind of changed a couple pages up here. So we had the God of War, the Light Dugong, the Golduck, and we added these 3 Staryu that I actually quite like the artworks for. The Cubone, of course, beautiful looking card, and I really do enjoy that artwork. A couple of the band artworks, I think I had the Jinx in there before. I definitely had the Feebas and the Geodude too. But the Eevee, new addition there, because it's got the Rayquaza in the background, Electabuzz, Flygon, and then the 2 Dittos. I eventually want to try and get the full set of the Dittos, or the starters. And then we had these Driflims, I think from Stellar Crown. I actually really enjoyed the artwork here with sort of the town background. I remember saying that in the video as well. So that was just that. Again, not too big of an update there. We'll go on to the starters binder now. So this is the Alakazam. We had the 2 reverse hollows there from, I think those are from Twilight Masquerade, and we've got the regular ones as well with the regular holo rare. That shiny Alakazam might be new, I can't quite remember, but we did pick that one up as well in one of the card shows recently. And yeah, this is sort of my evolution binder. This is one of 3. So we've got Machoke. We did pick up these 2 new Machokes. We got the Korean version as well. I really enjoyed those full art there, those illustration rares. Those, again, remind me of the Machoke movers in the early GBA games in the Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald era, so really enjoyed that. I can't remember if this Triumph card is new or not. I think that we got that one in England, so you've probably already seen that one. Just go through here. The promo page usually has something new on it. I think if anything, it's probably this Lost Origin promo. I think I picked that up at a card show recently. So, pretty cool looking card, but not too many big updates for Machop, Machoke, and Machamp. Then we move on to Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath. Didn't get too many additions for him either, or either of these, all 3 of the evolutions. We just picked up, we got these 3, we pulled all of these. Those are from Twilight Masquerade. So we've got the reverse holo versions and the regular versions. So that was nice. That kind of completes that page quite nicely. And then the last Pokemon in this binder should be Nidoking. So this is a new page. We got the, because we're trying to do Nidoqueen and Nidoking, so we got a lot of that. I think that's all from 151, so that was quite nice. Otherwise, I don't think there was too many other additions to this section of the binder. Moving on now to my sort of smaller collection, my smaller sets binder. So we do have the Electabuzz. We did get that at the show, and we also got an Arcanine. So these are like the WotC promo collection here. Smaller set, still a pretty challenging one to get. We did pick up that Mewtwo as well. I think a good friend of mine actually gave that one to me. And this Pikachu, I believe, we managed to get at the show as well. I do like that artwork. I had the Entei around. I don't actually think I ever put it in the binder. So I had that one anyway. So we've got a full page we've got to try and do there. But that's a tough set to get. We did get the Ho-Ho, though. I was happy about that. And then moving on, we did complete the Detective Pikachu set. We picked up the Charizard. That was what we needed for that page. And then we also needed the Slacking at the end. So I do remember getting those at the last card show as well. It was actually quite hard to find, to be honest. But we finished that set, and then the only other 2 sets in this binder, of course, are the Trick or Treat cards. So we did complete the 2023 Trick or Treat set, and then we did also complete the 2024 Trick or Treat set as well. I think I prefer the 24 just because the Holo Bleed is a lot better. It's kind of hard to tell on that card. Maybe on the Mimikyu here it looks a bit better. They just got more Cosmos Holos, bit more swirl, bit more texture to the actual card as well. And I think I prefer the Ghastly Haunter Gengar that they had in that set too. So, moving on now to, honestly, my favorite binder that I started. I really was getting into this binder in the summer, and it kind of fell off a little bit towards the end of the year here, but this is one that I really want to try and work on next year. I don't think I got any new Magikarps added to this section. That Gyarados Red might be new. I think I might have had that in, but these bottom 3 are definitely new. We did pick up the full art Gyarados EX there, and then with the 2 Giovanni Gyaradoses, we got the Japanese version at a card show for a decent price as well. So I was happy with that. Scyther definitely needs some work, so I'm definitely going to be working on Scythers next year, but we did pick up this Neo Destiny, I believe it was, and the Fire Red and Leaf Green Scyther as well at the end there. We just rearranged the Scizor binder here, or the Scizor page. I think I preferred this layout a bit more than what I had it at. And then we did pick up the shiny Scizor at the last show, and I think that Japanese one as well. And we just sort of have the old school Scizors in the back there. For Onyx, we just had these 4, I believe, maybe these 3. I definitely know the Tops Chrome one we got. Well, it's just the regular Tops one, but I know that was new. And some of those other newer ones, I think, are from Twilight Masquerade or something like that. The only new Steelix was this beautiful Paradox Riff illustration rare. I love this card so much, just using him as basically an elevator at a construction site. Just such a cool card design. Steelix always is underrated. Didn't get any new Magmars this year, or since July at least, so definitely need to work on him as well. He's got some very cool artworks. Magnemite, we did pick up a couple on the back here. I don't think any of these are new. Maybe Super Scoop Up, but I know that those 2 basic ones, and then that Topps Chrome one, we did pick that one up, which I was happy about. But just like the odd basic and reverse holo, those are up for the newer sets. That's going to be a thing. 2 big Magnetons this year. We got the Skyridge and we got the Aquapolis. Beautiful looking artworks. Again, just underrated, I think. Really enjoy the artworks, and I've always enjoyed Magneton artworks. Hence why I'm collecting them. I think that's it for Magnetons. Again, maybe a couple basic here and there from the newer sets. We didn't get any new Hitmonchans or Hitmonlees, unfortunately, so we're just going to skip straight to Slowpoke. I think these were from Stellar Crown, so just a couple new ones here where he's swimming underneath the water. Pretty cool looking artworks. We did get a couple new Raichus. We opened that Alolan Raichu little trainer box or whatever it was. I don't know if the XY holo is new, but we'll show that page off just in case. Some just pretty cool artwork designs. The tag team I don't think is new. But these were the two new ones, right? And then big shout out to Matt. He picked up the Sleepy Raichu for us when he was out about in Kansas, I think a couple months ago. So that was nice. Moving on now to the Blastoise, the Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise part of the binder here. We did get this Blastoise EX from 151. A big shout out again to Matt. He picked up both of those at the same time. So really good brand new additions to the binder. So I was really happy about that. I think the only new thing is going to be towards the end here. This Squirtle, actually, yeah, this is new. This was the 151 promo. Kind of a weird looking card, to be honest, but still pretty cool. And then we've got the Here Comes the Squirtle Squad. Had to pick this up at the last card show. My boy fighting off Pikachu. And this was the Stellar Crown regular double rare for Blastoise EX. And then we did manage to pull the Stellar Crown Squirtle full art. And then we also managed to get the Blastoise VMAX. That's the promo card. That was from another opening that we had. In October, I think. So that was cool. Gengar, I don't think we got too many new ones. We might not have gotten any. I think the odd holo here and there. I think the first page we may have added like the holo rare to complete sort of the triple on the set. Otherwise, I just remember putting the surprise box in there. I was going through my bulk and found that, and I forgot that Gengar pops out of it, so thought we'd add him to the binder as well. Yeah, I just think a couple holos here. Obviously, the 2024 Trick or Trade, I need to put that in there as well. I'll do that later on. Tyranitar didn't get too much love. Maybe we just got the Iron Thorns EX, I think. Got a couple promo cards, and then we got this holo. So we did complete some of the... I can't remember which set this is from. I think Twilight Masquerade, whatever 193 is. I can't quite remember. So nothing too crazy there. And then I don't even know if I showed this in the first video, but I do collect the big old cards, the Chungus cards. And I'll just shift through these real quick. Nothing too crazy. The only big addition was, of course, the Blastoise VMAX, because that was the box that we opened, and it came with the Mega card. And then me and Ty also opened up a Lucario V-Star box as well that came with that too. So just two additions to the big cards for that binder. And then Jungle, we'll kind of get into some of the bigger updates. So Jungle, we did pretty well this year, actually, and we did pretty well in the past 6 months. We managed to pick up, I think that Vaporeon's new. We got the Japanese Vaporeon. So that's the only thing in the actual set that we managed to complete. But on the error cards, we did pretty well. So we got some more no symbol cards. So that's going to be at the back here. And I did a deep dive on Jungle, and there's going to be a lot more things that I need to collect. So looking forward to that. I actually learned a lot more about Jungle. That's the cool thing about doing the deep dives. We got the Electrode no symbol holo. We got the Mr. Mime no symbol. Definitely got Scyther as well. And then Vaporeon. Quite expensive, so we always take it trying to find the no symbol errors. So was happy with that, and that should be all the additions to Jungle. So we will move on now to some of the new football cards that I got. So of course, what a year to be alive if you're a Forest fan. We're in second place as of me recording this, so extreme over the moon with that. But we got some pretty cool additions, like we had the City Ground. I kind of reorganized a lot of these into, so I'm doing goalkeepers to defenders to midfielders to forwards. That's kind of how I'm going to organize this binder, because of course, I like all the Forest players, so I thought what better way than to organize it than doing it in that way. Mario, just an amazing player. I hope he doesn't getting taken away from us next year. I hope a bigger club doesn't pick him up, because He's good enough to do it. We got a new Nico Williams. So we did pull a lot of these in the countdown calendar that we did in the whole month of December. So if you haven't seen those, I just made shorts every day of opening up an advent calendar that had packs in it, had these Panini Adrenaline packs in it. So got some pretty cool new additions to add to the binder. A couple Gibbs Whites I think we got as well. We got the Midfield Master and just some of the base hits. And that's going to be it for the Forest cards. So obviously we want a lot more of them next year as well. We'll go ahead and go over some of the, I think, so the Euros aren't new, but we did get a couple Jude Bellinghams. We got the Trophy Triumph Gerrard. These aren't new, but I thought I may as well keep the History Maker. It was probably the most valuable hit that we got out of the Advent Calendar, and I did actually want to keep that one. These are just the Once a Red, Always a Red cards. Of course, with a little Nashville SC card. And James Ward-Prowse, we managed to pick a couple of them up. And an Alex Moreno, who's on loan to us from Aston Villa. And one hell of a left back. Okay, and moving on, of course, just show some of the little additions that we got, including the brand new binder. This, of course, is my One Piece binder now. I think in the original video I had some of the One Piece cards I had pulled in my Yu-Gi-Oh binder. Didn't get any new Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the past 6 months. It's definitely fallen off for me in terms of priority now that I'm really getting back into One Piece. And especially into the game. But a lot of these at the beginning here, these are all the 2006 cards that me and my buddy Ty opened a couple months back. That was the $2,000 booster box that we opened. A lot of people were saying it's not $2,000. I saw it last sold on eBay, sealed for $2,000. I didn't know it was that much. I think I got it for $70 6-7 years ago, and I just been holding on to it. But I think it was worth opening just because we got a really cool. We're getting some really cool pages out of this for the binder. So a lot of these are pretty much every card. I tried to basically, if you can see here, get the character card and then add it with like their action card, if you will, and then also set it up to where it's going to be all the citizens, all the enemy forces, and now you're into the navy. So these were pretty cool. I actually really enjoyed these cards. And then you've got the strongmans at the end. This was sort of the last thing with Ace and Ben Beckman and things like that. So looking forward to continuing to do One Piece stuff and add to this binder. With this, I wanted to do all of the Baroque works all in a row. So there was no Mr. Ones that I pulled, but we got 0, obviously Crocodile, 2 and 3, 5, and 9. And that was all the regulars. Then we move on to all the hollows that I got. This Candle Champion, beautiful looking artwork. That was the silver rare that we managed to pull. We got a pretty good box, to be honest. We got, I think, 4 silver rares, so that was pretty huge. Really enjoyed the Garp, and we got the Arlong, the, Luffy's long lost brother, Porcus D. Trace. And then we're going to get into some of the Vinsmokes. These are the more modern day cards. So I think all the Vinsmokes all together look quite nice. I have to kind of rearrange this probably to make it look a bit nicer, but I do like the Reju into the Judge and the Niji. We're going to get all 3 of the brothers on this page. Really enjoyed getting the alternate arts and then putting them both together. I think they look very nice. We got the Jolly Rogers as well, of course, which I just think that they look amazing. So I definitely need to open up some more. The best, I definitely need to get some of those ordered because those were that was such a fun box to open. We've got to get my boy Bartholomew, of course, and then those last 3 at the end. I just really enjoyed the artworks for those ones. We move on to some Trafalgar Laws. So we've of course got 6 or so of these, I believe. Another Jolly Roger foil there, and just 2 underrated artworks. Love the super rares for Law here. We've got to have Beppo in there as well. And then we've got 3 Mihawks, just the last 3 that I've managed to pull. Want to get more of him. Basil Hawkins, don't really like him as a character in the show, but I think his artworks look amazing. And we've got to have Garp with Kobe, right? I just think that's a must. Some Doffies as well here. Love the baby Doffy with the gun. Going into the super rare here. Really enjoyed that pull we got in the last video. And some of these are from the 3 Brothers, structure deck, but trying to do these in sort of order, doing the Sabo into Ace into Luffy. One person reminded me that that's actually not Luffy, that is Sabo, that card on the top left. So he's now in the appropriate place, so you can rest easy. We've got the moving into the Monkey D. Luffy. So this is where I'll probably get I'll have to get a new binder eventually for this. But this is similar to how I do with my Pokemon. I want all of anything that has Luffy in the artwork, so all of the Gum-Gums, you know, all of the event cards, I'm going to have all of those, and even like the Don cards, of course. So there's probably a couple more I need to add to this, to be honest, but this is a good start. I'm kind of running out of room, and this is where I say I might have to get a brand new binder, because the plan is to get all of the crew. So these were probably the best Luffy cards that I managed to get. And then we move into my favorite, which is of course Zoro. And this is kind of where I say I'll probably have to get a separate binder just for the crew itself, and then probably have kind of similar to what I do in Pokemon and have a binder just dedicated to my favorite artworks. But we've got the Zolos. I'm a Zolo collector now. The 3000 Worlds, really loved pulling those in the last video. We got the alternate art as well. The Don card, beautiful looking Don. I love this Don, so happy we pulled that. And then the Silver Rare Zolo in the 2006 set. Probably one of the most expensive pulls you can get, so really glad that we got that. And then of course my two favorite cards. There's just a perfect spot right there for the manga, if we can get the manga art there. And then we'll move on to Nami, of course. So these are all in order that Luffy picks them up and adds them to the crew. We did get two of the East Blue Namis, which I was happy about in the PRB set there. And then just some of the 2006 Namis at the end. Some non-foils and foils. Pretty cool looking cards. And of course, Usopp was next. And not too many good ones for him, to be honest. Just some solid base hits, right? And just that one foil from the older set that we pulled. And then Sanji's next, of course. And a lot... Honestly, I need some better Sanji hits. He's got some really good ones out there. He's got some really nice alternate arts. We did get the feminist one, though. That's probably my favorite from the 2006 set that we pulled. We got the non-foil and the foil. And, of course, the leader Sanji. And then we have Chopper next. I do quite like the different... He got quite a lot in the 2006 set, so I'm happy that I managed to get those. But yet again, not too many like super rares or anything from him. Mainly just event cards, a couple leaders, and Jolly Roger foils on the last box that we opened. Next up, we have Robin, of course. Now, I've got to stay very respectful on this page because it's a beautiful-looking page. I won't pass over the Nico Robin Jolly Roger foil that I'm going to shout you out, Ty Day. I'm going to call you out, actually. It's not even a shout-out, it's a call-out. We took some time to recognize that card, and it made it to the binder, so you can quit complaining. Frankie, of course, into Brooke. Unfortunately, Frankie and Brooke, I know there's a couple good ones out there. I've just not managed to pull any. So I'm hoping I can get some more of those in the new year. And of course, we end with my boy, Jinbei. We did manage to pull the super rare from OP07, I believe. But as of right now, that is it. That is my One Piece binder. Like I say, I plan to hopefully try and get, a completely different binder that maybe has the full crew in it, because I'm sure I'm going to get some more, and that binder's going to fill up quite quick. Get the whole crew as a separate binder, and then maybe have a separate binder just dedicated to the artworks that I like, because there's a couple that I had to leave out, even from the binder you just saw there. So, like I say, might have to get a couple one of those. I do have the Forbidden binder. I hate to paywall things, but I have to give my members something to look forward to, so I think my loyal members will get maybe some privileges and get to see the Forbidden binder, which you can kind of put two and two together, what would maybe consist in that. And then there's one extra card, like I said, that I didn't show today, but that will showcase in the new deep dive that I do next year. Looking forward to showing that off. It is the rarest card in my collection, and looking forward to going over and doing a deep dive on that particular card. But that is going to do it, like I say. I hope you had a fantastic 2024, and if not, it's okay, because guess what? Tomorrow's 2025. I hope you enjoy your New Year's festivities, and I'll catch you in the next one.